So I've been running a battery backup on my furnace here for about the last, I don't know, year and a half, 2 years. I guess I'll have to look back on the YouTube archive here to kind of see. But it's been a failsafe system for me with one caveat. It doesn't charge itself back up, or at least it didn't charge itself back up after a power outage or after it had to intervene. So here's the changes that I made to the system. If you want to know more about what I did for the furnace battery backup, that's going to be in the card on the top. I'm not sure which corner it is. I think it's this corner. I'll put a card there, but here's what I changed to kind of make this system better. So before, I used to have one plug that was available here in case of a power outage. I could use to charge my cell phone or plug in anything else that I wanted. And that was good and that was fine. But what I ended up doing is the two chargers that you've seen earlier, they're both plugged in here. And they used to be in there. The downside of that being is anytime the furnace battery backup intervened, it was creating its own loop and just draining power, running those chargers to charge the batteries that it was using. So now this plug is something I added in. This is just wired to the house. So this only works if there is power being supplied to the house. So that is good. But that left me with the problem of what do I do when the power comes back on to trigger the chargers to get the batteries back up? And how do I turn those chargers off all by themselves? So you'll see that they're not just plugged right in, they're into a smart plug. So what I did with that is I used Wattage to solve that problem. The first charger, the bigger of the two, is set on 10 amps, and then the other one behind there is just a maintenance charger for the batteries. Alright, so the first thing I had to do in Wattage is find a way of detecting a power out. So I did figure that out, and I'll leave a card to that video on how you can do that in your own home. All you need is you do need the Wattage device, you need the hub, but you need that and anything else that connects to your Wi-Fi network that'll respond to a ping. So that's pretty easy. But what the rule in Wattage does is right over here, this just detects if the power goes out, and I can use that then to trigger the automation for my battery backup for the furnace. Now, I made this whole rule and this whole setup, and it looks a little bit complicated. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it looks really easy. Maybe it could have been done better, but this is what I ended up doing to fix that charge problem. So if the power goes out, it'll automatically flip a switch called backup power maintenance. And if that turns on, that runs this whole set of automations. And what this will do is it'll first run the big charger, then it'll run the smaller charger, the maintenance charger after, and the big charger only shuts off after it goes to less than 95 watts. Those single plugs, they do a great job of telling me what the power consumption is. Now, I monitored that charge several times to see kind of where the watt draw was to where I wanted the battery voltage sitting at to figure out what that number is. And I could probably go a little higher and let the maintenance charger do some more, but whatever. This is going to do the trick for me for now. Maybe I'll tweak it in the future. But anyway, that number is 95 watts. So what the automation will do is it'll wait until it is underneath that 95 watts. And as soon as that happens, it'll turn that charger off, put on the maintenance charger. That'll run for another 2 hours. And once that 2 hours is up, it just turns everything off. This will trigger in a couple of different ways, as I mentioned earlier here. I do want it to maintain those batteries as well. So every Saturday, once a week at 8 o'clock, it turns that thing on. It runs through that whole set of automations just to make sure that those batteries are always topped off and ready in case the power does go out. Now, as far as future updates for this thing, I doubt there's going to be anything else. I don't know what else to do to make this thing better. Maybe add more batteries in the future. Maybe switch to lithium ion if I ever have problems with the lead acid batteries that are there. Or lithium titanate or some other chemistry that stores density or energy density a little bit better or has a little bit more cycle life. But as of right now, there is nothing else that I can think of. This thing is now 100% automatic from both switching on when the power goes out, running what it needs to, but it'll also go to replenishing the battery cells for the next power out. So I really don't know. I think I've made some good improvements with it, and I can't think of anything else. Otherwise, I guess I would have done it already. But let me know what you guys think. If there's improvements that you see that I'm kind of missing, you can leave those in the comments down below, and I do read them and I do respond to them.